All right. Hey. So today we're going to talk about the illusion a little bit better and how to use your emotions. So today a great question was asked, and I really loved it because I don't think she, in her words, realized how she was making the illusion with her story. And basically what she said is, have you ever felt like your desire is right there, but you just can't seem to catch it? You just can't seem to feel as if you can't seem to enter it. And like, it's frustrating. Well, I'll explain why this is. See, creation is finished. It's finished. However, you are choosing to be in a certain part of your mind. Okay? Hey Terry, hey Tanya. You are choosing to be at a certain part of your mind. So what you're seeing outside is what your source light is projecting outwardly in the moment. So if we were to picture the inside of our brain, and those of you that have been in Behind the Veil, this is repeat for you. You know this already, so I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but not everybody attended that class. Okay, so your mind is like a giant warehouse. Your subconscious is like a giant warehouse that contains everything in it. And your physical eyes are like the flashlight that can only see but so far. Okay? That means that your physical eye's ability to register what is there is limited by how far you're shining your light into what you are wanting and understanding. A coherent heart allows you to expand that light. What do I mean by a coherent heart? I mean taking some time to pray with gratitude. And by pray, what do I mean by pray? I mean being thankful for your desire being already here. Having that it is done moment, having that faith, not caring how it happens, not worrying about what way it will appear, just knowing that it will. As such, when you bridge that divide, what happens is your brain starts to get little pushes, little instincts, little inspired actions that will move you in this direction. And you're literally just showing up. But what's happening is you're getting your brain to move from this part of the warehouse where when I can only see this, and then with your emotions moving deeper into your warehouse where you can see the rest of your desire. You're actually the obstacle. And it's really funny because most people don't realize this. See, God's ideas are whole. You are both the giver and the gift. Your desire is letting you know what is already there. Your job is to complete the circuit. If people understood how valuable your heart-brain coherence is, they'd be doing it every day. And then they'd realize that they'd just show up and things would be there. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's true. Everything works like a projector, but your heart and mind are showing you what's there. And when you allow your heart to be your seeing eye dog, you can enter these states at will. And what's happening is it's already there. That's why you feel as if it's already there. All that you're doing is moving that light so that the flashlight can show you what your heart knows. You're supposed to bridge that divide, not keep it open and say, I just don't see it out there. Well, you don't see it out there because inside you are looking the wrong way. You are looking towards the wrong part of the warehouse, and you're not focusing your heart, knowing that your heart knows the way and allowing your heart to guide you in that direction. Same concept. Are you happy right now? Same concept. I'm going to show you different ways in how this plays out. So most people make the mistake of saying, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I have this. As soon as I get the guy, as soon as I lose the weight, as soon as the money comes into my bank account, whatever your desire may be, as soon as I get the job, everything's going to be perfect. Okay. That's placing it outside of you and creating a division. Okay? You have to match the vibration that convinces your brain that that's what is, so that your inner flashlight, your inner projector, can shine a light on your desired state. You have to convince your brain. This is required. Okay? If you are not matching the vibration of the person who has whatever it is that they have, and you're waiting for it to appear, you are not living from the end in a knowing state, knowing that it's yours. You're just not. You're not living by faith. You're living by lack. And so when you're living by lack, lack is what you shall get, my love. I'm just trying to tell you. One more tip. This turned out to be a how to get things really fast video. One more tip. I just had a fellow Cindy in another group say something really, really important. She said, I've been trying to manifest my person for a whole year. No matter what I did, I was in no contact for a whole year. So she said her affirmations, she did everything. Finally, she was exhausted. You shouldn't get to that point, by the way. You shouldn't have to work that hard. But that's neither here nor there. She said, oh my God, the second I let go, the second I surrendered, he showed up. We've been talking, and he stayed up to talk to me, and we're in total contact as if nothing has ever happened. It just happened in an instant. That's the thing, you guys. You don't realize how quick it can happen when you let it go. You see, you are making things up here so that you can experience them. This is the whole point of your life. But if you don't let them go from up here, you can't experience them. You're keeping them up here. This is called wishful thinking. They're not living from your end. This is just wishful thinking. In order to have things very quickly, you have to trust that they are there already. You have to appreciate. You don't have to worry about how it comes and then just expect it. Then your actions should align with your desired state. What do actions look like? First, it's a knowing sense. Second, it's a peaceful sort of, I'm not tripping about anything. And when that voice comes up that says, you don't have this is a waste of time or whatever, just smile and say, you don't know what you don't know, baby. Don't attach. Instead of attaching, you can just let it go. Live by faith. What you will find is your invisible sense of knowing that which you know up here, like you know, is the invisible force that is animating the entire carcass outside of you. And when I say it's a carcass, I sincerely mean this. I know. You actually think it's alive. It's alive because of you. You have to own being first cause. You have to own it. Absolutely own it. There's no, if you're playing the blame game and you're being victim, you're a victim to your own story. You are first cause. When you own this, when you own your state, when you really harness the power of those emotions, you can have whatever you want. This is the reason why I often say empaths are geared to have it all, because they harness the power of their emotions, and the ones that don't haven't understood how it works yet. But in a world where feeling is the secret, and you know this because of the Bible story of Jacob, Esau, and Isaac, it's in there. You were told this from the beginning. If you know this story, it's the story of the blind father and his two sons, and the one son pretending to be his brother in order to get his inheritance from his blind father. If you understand what it means and how this is an analogy for your entire world, for your entire life, that your feeling is the secret to getting anything out of your brain. You will understand how you are everything now, how there's nothing to seek out there, and that if you harness the power of your emotional focus enough, whatever you want is yours. Whatever. And you can enter these experiences at will. You can enter these experiences at will. But you have to understand how it works. Did you know that wherever I go, if I encounter alcoholics, for example, that while they're around me, they actually desire to quit drinking? Why is that? Why is it that my presence causes them to stop drinking? I'll tell you. I don't have a void. I don't have a void. And so as a result, my inner non-void makes people step up to the plate. Literally, they want to stop drinking. They don't know why they want to stop drinking. They want to stop drinking because they're not trying to mask or hide anymore. Now, I know this from experience. It has always been my way. It has always been my way. In fact, when I didn't know, I had a friend call me up and he said, I know you don't know this, but I was deeply into cocaine use. And you're not going to believe this. And this is someone I've known since my middle school years. You're not going to believe this, Cindy. There were times that I would sit in my place and just do coke all day and hide from people. I was like, wow, okay, didn't know that. Wow, how did you come out? Do you know what he said? He said, Sin, you were the voice in my head. You were the one that got me out. I wasn't even there physically. But he quit coke because I was the voice in his head. So if you don't know that your healing is the most important thing in the world because it causes everything else to want to heal, whether you are there or not, then you should get to work on yourself. This is what is mirrored out. This is how things are healed. It's you. You are the source image. Stop getting mad at the reflected image. Understand who is the cause behind it. You can have whatever you want. Anything. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. You can have it. But you have to understand how it works. You have to understand it's your story. You have to understand, oh wow, it's all me. My emotions make these things go. I am the puppet master. And my puppets are my children. They are me on display. And if I can do that, not in a condescending way, if I can understand the mystery of God, Christ, God the source, and Christ that's universal experience, you'll have a very different way of existing. Your higher self prevails in all situations. Living like this is easy, but you're going to have to understand how it works. You're going to have to harness the power of those emotions. You're going to have to harness the power of the heart coherence. You're going to have to listen to the people that said the kingdom is within. Stop looking out there. You're going to have to heal you. You're going to have to care about you. You're going to have to choose you. You're going to have to be willing to look at the things that you don't want to look at. The things that you've rejected. And you have to love those things too. Because if you don't, the outer illusion can't. So what happens is you're going to experience your wounds. And you're not going to understand why. So if you have an abandonment wound, if you have a rejection wound, if you have a humiliation wound, if you have an injustice wound, if you have some kind of rejection going on, any of these things going on, okay? And you don't know this, it's going to continue to play out over and over and over again. You're even going to attach to the thing that's going to hurt you over and over again so you can discover what is going on. So you have to take a real honest look at everything that has happened in your life. Look at your parents. Look at your grandparents. Find your patterns to understand why you're attracted to out there. Because out there is you. When you know this, like you know this, there is a force that compels people to come to you. They can't help it. They can't help it. And you know that force because you guys feel that obsession for others sometimes. You can't explain it. You don't know why you want what you want. You don't understand what's going on, right? That force? Well, what I'm telling you is become that force so that you don't have to seek out there. It comes to you. There is a state. There's a state. I know you guys see, I talk about the Bible so much, and a lot of you don't like the Bible, but you don't understand how it's serving you. There is a state, the state of Moses, the elite, the ruling class elite in which the universe serves it. You want to be this so that you just show up and you are shown God's will. You want to be this. You don't want to be the other state. They both exist. One must exist to get you to the other side. They exist tandemly, but you don't want to be the one enslaved to 3D circumstances. You don't want to be helpless in your story. You can play a tiny role, or you can play the most giant role of all. That which knows that your story is all of your bodies on display. All of them. They're all you. And anytime you get lost, you can look in the mirror of yourself and see what your story is and deal with it accordingly. With love, not hatred. With love, not attitude. And with that, you won't worry about boundaries either. Because if someone needs to have a boundary, you need to learn about this experience, then you'll do it, but you'll do it with compassion and kindness because you will always be on the receiving end of what you put out. That's what's important. Become that which others come to you. Love you. Understand how much value you provide. Become, I call it magical bitch. Yeah? Become that. Everybody wants a magical bitch. Everybody wants it. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But everybody wants a magical bitch. Everybody wants someone who can make things fall out of the sky. Everybody wants someone who, when the rest of the world says, no, you can't leave the country, they call you up and you say, Sen, I need out of the country. Can you help me get my mind right so I can get out? And then the next day or a week later or however long it takes, it doesn't take long. Sen, thank you. I got out of the country. You can fall under the radar. You can make anything move any way you want, so long as you understand you are the source. You must be God in order to reap godly benefits. And everyone is this. I often tell you guys, I'm not special in any way. Anything I can do, everybody can do. That is a rule of the kingdom. It's in Revelations 21-16, in which you are described a city. A city is equal lengths on all sides. It's this way and this way. No matter how you look at it, it's always the same. Well, in this case, the city is a metaphor for the truth. It's not an actual city. It's not an actual place. If everything is a myth and these myths are making our world solid outside of us, then we have to understand how the myths work. So what you are told in Revelations 21-16 is, if it is not true of everyone, you are looking at an illusion. You are not looking at absolute truth. You are looking at relative truth. This is not real. Because if it's not true of everybody, it's not real. It's your illusion made for you. It's in there. It's in the Bible. Swear to God. And nobody talks about this shit. They should. Of course, they don't understand it this way, right? But when you do, it's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. This is me trying to show you how it works. This is me trying to break down what these myths mean. This is me trying to show you that the Bible is a universal guide for manifestation. And believe me, I am not a Bible thumper or a churchgoer. So it's crazy that I'm so in love with the book now, right? But it taught me what I know and how it applies universally to everybody. And this is important because you want to be able to distinguish what's fake from what's real, and then be able to allow this fake reality. You want to play in it like a virtual video game. I want to experience this. Great. Go into your mind, recreate the feeling, accept it as real, and thank God for your desire being done because it came from God. Surrender. Let it go. You will enter that dream and you will realize how easy it is to manifest if you do it this way. Don't second guess. Don't doubt. If you do, learn to detach from it. Learn to trust here. Learn to trust that feeling. It's already there. Creation is finished. So when your doubtful voice says, hey, it's not there yet, smile and just say, yes, it is. My eyeballs are not shining in the right part on the right part of the warehouse where it's already there. Find some kind of phrase that turns you around so that you can turn your doubt into something useful. So you can demonstrate your faith. When you guys do this, you will find that the world starts changing around you automatically. It's a very cool place to be. It's a very exciting place to be. Try this, you guys. Try to understand that the power has always, always been yours. It's creation is finished. Allow yourself, accept that doubtful voice, but then find a phrase that turns it around. And in the interim, be present. Be present. Don't worry about when it's coming. Don't worry about anything else. Just be present. And what you'll find is, I don't care if it took a year for you to surrender. I don't care if it takes one day. As soon as you let go, it shows up. It shows up. Okay? Like my friend here. Her name is Cindy. Of course her name is Cindy. Cynthia, but close enough. Okay? Who said that she was not in contact for over a year, but she persisted. And now she's entered the dream. Everyone can do this. The time that has elapsed is irrelevant. The time that has elapsed was placed in there by you because fear resistance, doubt, worry, lack of understanding of what you can't see has caused you to believe it is not there. But I'm telling you what's on the other side. I'm telling you that your heart can register and see way further than these little eyeballs. That if you desire it, it's already in existence. And that's why you're there. That your heart is leading the way. And if you are not practicing heart-brain coherence, you are doing yourself you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not. Activating your heart-brain coherence on a regular basis, even if it's the only thing that you do, will allow you to have this inspired actions so that even if you haven't seen him for over a year and you really want to, suddenly you'll desire a ski trip, right? Suddenly you want to go. You grab your friend and you go. You don't understand why, you just want to go, so fuck it, you'll go, right? Lo and behold, there he is. And it's magical. And you entered the state. It can happen that easily. But you gotta be coherent. You gotta follow this gut instinct, these prompts, these inspired actions come from a coherent heart. And I know it looks counterintuitive. What do you mean? I just sit here, hold my heart, and picture the feeling and just revel in that? Yes! Harness the power of your emotional focus. Then drop it. And anytime you feel the need, do it again. But then drop it and then go live your life. You will find that as you live your life, these inspired actions will prompt you in that direction. Your only resistance is your belief that it doesn't happen this easily. But it does. My clients, my favorite part of working with them is when they say, Sin, I entered the dream. Okay, so I had this imaginal state, and I kept practicing, and I kept doing this, and I did my heart thing, and blah, 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 and I entered the dream. It happened. Do you know how happy that makes me? But you have to discover that. I can lead you to that water, but I can't make you drink it. I can't force you to do these things. I can only lead you thus far. Drinking the water is up to you. Performing the actions that get you up here is up to you. But if you want to be one of those people, like my friend Cynthia in the other group, who said, I entered the state, oh my God, as soon as I surrendered. I harnessed my power of focus for over a year, and when I got tired, I let it go, and boom. Here's my partner. If you want to sound that happy, if you want to understand what that is, harness the power of your emotional focus and don't give up. Don't give up. Just expect it. Just expect it. Because the truth is, in life, you do not get what you want. You get what you expect. And so if you're expecting things to go wrong, that'll happen first. If you're expecting things to go right, that'll happen first. It's always you setting the tone. And that's a hard thing to kind of accept, but when you do, it's life-altering. Because now you are happening to life. You have entered Moses, the state of the royal, the elite, whom all others serve. Trust me. It's true of everyone, or it wouldn't have been written. You can use these things for your advantage. All right, you guys, I'm going to read some comments. I didn't come on too late, but I have a question, and I've asked you before. I'm sorry. Nikki, you're not annoying me. Hold on. It's about changing our story narrative. It's still not clicking on how to change my story. Okay. with changing your story, use first and foremost, okay? I'm actually going to do a little workshop if you guys are interested on this, okay? Where we're going to apply the radical forgiveness worksheets that I shared with some of you, my closest folks, all right? In this radical forgiveness sheet, the first step is honoring your human experience. So write out your story, whatever your story is. I want you to write out your story as if you don't know how creation works, as if you're a victim. Everything you're feeling, I want you to write that out. Okay? I don't want you to not honor where you're at. I don't want you to bypass where you're at. I want you to acknowledge. It's not going right. La, 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 la. Okay? I want you to acknowledge this. All right? The next step is the most important. The next step is, typically, you will find to be your desire, because it's the guide. The next step is writing out the story from your higher level understanding. You understand your creator. What is the next best way that this can happen? This will be your new narrative. This is what you came to experience. This is the reason the adversity exists, so that you can enter the state. So now that is your focus. If you don't know what to work on and you don't like where you're at, it's a good idea to look at everything that's been solidified outside. This is your unconscious made visible. This gives you the starting point. Now, focus on that. That becomes where you live from. Okay, so in this example, if I want a guy or a girl, and right now it doesn't feel like it, maybe I'm in a situation where it's friends with benefits, or maybe I'm in a casual sex situation, I really don't like it, you know, then I'm gonna write out my story this way, and then I'm gonna write out my story the next way. Now, the next thing that's most important is my actions must align. So, if I'm the one that is chosen, I'm not going to call this guy or this girl in desperate mode. Because desperate mode is what caused them to push me to the side. Do you see how the actions must line up? Instead, I'm going to know, and when I call, I'm definitely not going to be desperate. I'm going to treat this person as if I'm talking to myself, but my actions will align with the person that I want to be. Not the person I've been, the person I want to be. When I become the source image that I want to be, the outside will show up. I want you to avoid this one step. Checking to see outside if it has changed yet. This is not faith. If you go, it hasn't changed yet, Cindy, I've done the work, but it hasn't changed yet. It hasn't changed yet, Cindy. I'm waiting. Okay? If you are living like this, you are living from lack. You are living from lack. You are not convinced that it will change. You're hoping that it will. And since you haven't been convinced that it's changed, you're living from lack. And when you do this, you're not going to get your state. The way that you know that you have mastered something, the way that you know that you have owned the story, 3D checks you. 3D shows up like you want. 3D comes in and sounds exactly like your mind. So you don't check out there, it checks you. It is your confirmation loop. You see, 5D is up here, and the physical experience is the past of what you've made in here. So in order to experience it solidified, you must live from here, drop it, and then you'll experience it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Your actions must align, though. Same thing. Another example. I'm just using love. Let's use money. Because it really doesn't matter what it is. It works the same no matter what it is. The square of life is the same. Because your natural abundance, the square of life, is health, wealth, physical expression, and relationship. Those are your 4 boxes. You are centered in that. So it works the same no matter what. It's all your abundance. You've always had it. Okay? So let's say I am studying money and I want money. Okay? You must resist the temptation of being the old man. So if I am studying money and I want money, okay, when I see something, my first instinct is I can't afford that, I just went back to the old man. If my actions don't align with what I'm trying to become, I am not living from the end. If my actions are, if I pay this bill, I'm going to run out of money, you are living from poverty. Your actions don't align. Your heart and mind are not coherent. If you said, however, if you said, I'm paying this bill because all my money gets circulated back and God pays all my bills and all I have to do is be a good steward and it recycles and money comes to me no matter what, that's the person who took to heart what they learned and it is now visible outside. Case in point, myself. Okay? Here's an example. I went and bought a bunch of groceries. It was a really special moment for me. It's a tiny thing. I went out and bought a bunch of groceries, and the next thing I know, my bill was, I don't know, close to $300. Okay? The second I paid, I got a notification. I got a $300 service charge for somebody that paid me $300. So literally, the second I paid, instantly God gave me my money back and paid for my food. It's a tiny little thing, but it's evidence of my new state. You see how 3D checked me? I didn't go out there and check 3D. 3D checked me. You have to live from the state. Your actions must align. You must become who you want to be in order to have it. Because you are the source image. You are it. Do you see how your actions align? When you become who you want, that's when 3D checks you. You enter the state. It always works this way. It always works this way because creation is finished. I hope this gave you some help, some ideas. I hope this sinks in. I hope it makes sense. Jess, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way. Thank you, and I'm glad that you're new to the group. So I try to place these lives on YouTube. They don't always make it, so whoever is in here, thank you. And I really hope I'm helping, because I like to think of myself as the one who's talking about the things that others aren't talking about. A lot of people say they've been doing this type of learning this type of understanding for a long time, and yet they're missing something. So I like to think of myself as the missing link, the one that provides the stuff that people aren't talking about. You know, I don't regurgitate books. I do use them to learn, but I won't regurgitate books. I will take what I learned from my personal experience, place myself in the book, see how it works, and if I agree, I will show you, yup, that's how it is. This is helpful information. I figured this out on my own. This is true. So then I'll share it with you guys because it provides shortcuts. But I won't just regurgitate a book and say, feeling is the secret. No, I will show you how it is the secret. Because when I taught Behind the Veil, the one thing I taught you guys were that you were the projector. You are the projector. And when you get that, it changes everything. Okay? All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening to what I'm saying. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. My site is open. All of my appointments are free. Subscribe to my channel. I'm getting better. I am technology adverse, but I love you guys more than my adversity for technology, so here I am. Okay? Love you guys. See you soon.